Help support AMTV by becoming a patron, an AMTV staff member, and following us over on Twitter.
Hi there guys, it's Adam Martin here, and welcome back to another instalment of the Now Review. And this time on the Now Review, and for the foreseeable future, if I can get the camera fixed, we are going to be looking at the Now Dance series. Now Dance is probably one of the biggest spin-offs that Now's ever had. Not so much in recent years, but certainly back in the origins of Now and throughout the 80s and 90s and 2000s, it was probably Now's biggest sub-genre. You guys are wanting Now reviews. I thought we'd take a trip through the Now Dance series. Through this show, I now own most of the albums in one form or another, whether that's vinyl like this or on CD. So we're going to go through them for you. So we're going to start with this one, Now Dance, which was released in 1985. It says extended dance versions of 20 smash hits, and they are all listed on the front cover here, which is quite cool. And the bottom there says 2 hours of wicked mixes to keep you moving all night long. Ironic then that they chose these for pictures of a woman sort of in bed. She looks either very uncomfortable or she's not having good dreams. She's definitely not dancing. It's just a bit odd. I do like the smatterings of colour you can see around on the front here, but I don't like the fact it's all a grey like background and such. And also these are the 12-inch mixes, so for those who are a bit younger, back in the day when singles were released on 12-inch vinyl, they were often longer than the radio edits. Instead of being 3 minutes, they might be 5, 6, 7 minutes and be all extended. And this album has those 12-inch mixes. And for the track list as such, so you've got Would I Lie to You by Eurythmics, Little Benny and the Masters, Who Comes to Boogie, The Ra Band with Clouds Across the Moon, Lilo Thomas with Settle Down, Stephen Tintin Duffy with Kiss Me, Loose Ends with Hanging on a String, War with Groovin', The Cool Notes and Spend the Night, Curtis Hairston and I Want Your Lovin', Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers, Bustin' Loose, and on the other side you got Philip Bailey and Phil Collins, Easy Lover, Aura with Like I Like It, The Power Station with Some Like It Hot, Ashford and Simpson with Solid, Phyllis Nelson with Move Closer, Jermaine Jackson with Do What You Do, Eddie and the Soul Band with the theme from Shaft, T.C. Curtis with You Should Have Known Better, Belouise Sum with Imagination, and DeBarge with Rhythm of the Night. And no, it's not that Rhythm of the Night you're thinking of by the artist who I can't say the name of, otherwise I get demonetized. But anyway, here's the actual back of it, and there is your track list as such. It's funny because how they're arranged on here isn't how they're arranged on here, so it's actually quite annoying. But there is side 1 for you. There is side 2. Here is side 3. And here is side 4. And again, this woman who is in some very uncomfortable sleeping poses. What's she doing here? I'm not sure what she's doing on all of these, to be honest. I do like the logo though. You've got the traditional red, blue and green, but also the dance thing there. That's quite nice. That's t-shirt worthy. Now we're going to open this up. Let's see if I can get it on the stand. Okay, so there you go. Easy Lover. That's a big song. And then you got the Power Station there. Sorry if this is reflecting or it's a bit hard to read text-wise. Never been quite good at this. There you go. There's side 2. So this came out in 1985, and by then Now didn't have many spin-offs. In fact, this may well been the first one in terms of release, because the Now Christmas album didn't come out until Christmas of 85, so I'm assuming this would have come first. So interesting they've got Do What You Do on here, because I mean this is a Now Dance album. When I hear dance, I associate it with like high octane, very fast, well, dance music, and Do What You Do is a romantic ballad. So unless back then they were going for dance in all sense, you know, like slow dance as well, but they're not really clear about that. Rhythm of the Night, DeBarge. So this often gets mixed up with the 90s song called Rhythm of the Night, which is by, well, I can't say the name to be demonetized, but I think you can guess. But this is also a good song by DeBarge, you know. Highly recommend that. Got a bit of wear on the sleeve there. We're scrolling down. So these are the 12-inch mixes, hence why they're longer, and there's only 5 tracks per side on the vinyl record. Now the theme from Shaft, I'm amazed that's here, because that was quite an old song, so it must have had a re-release. There you go, and that is your full 20 track list with full pictures and colour. And now if you give me a jump cut, I'll show you what one of the discs looks like. So here is an example of the vinyl disc for Now Dance. So obviously side 1, not great smatterings of colour. I mean, yes, it's got like that blue hue, but black and white art, so wish I could have injected more colour. Mine's a bit scuffed, but it plays really well. Remember, always check for scratches and dust. Just make sure it's in a condition where you think it can be played. Okay, well, what else is there to say about this album? How can you get it? Well, I got mine secondhand. I think I got mine from eBay for about £7 or £8 or something around that figure. This album is actually quite common. I'm guessing at the time it sold really well. It was very popular. So to find a secondhand copy of the original Now Dance from 1985 isn't really that difficult. In terms of the recommendations, I mean, so you've got 20 tracks. Not all of them are high-octane dance songs. As I said, the Do What You Do song by Jermaine Jackson is essentially a ballad. So if you've got to go into this knowing that this is before the era where all dance was considered high-octane thumping stuff, this has some slow stuff as well. And obviously if you like 80s music, it's a go-to, but you've got to know you like the 12-inch mixes. They're often longer, sometimes they change things up. So really do your research before you pick this one up. And as I said before, as this is a vinyl record, make sure you're checking for scratches, for anything that might damage your listening experience. I believe this was also released on cassette at the time, so you can probably find a double cassette of that. I'm not sure off the top of my head whether this was released on CD. This was 1985, so CDs were sort of just about coming in, so you might have to look into that one a little bit further. And that is all for this episode of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like on this video and comment below. Do you own the original Now Dance from 1985? Do you own it on vinyl? Do you own it on cassette? Would you plan on picking this up? And also stay tuned, because as the Now Review goes on, we're going to be going through virtually the entire Now Dance series. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until the next one, I will see you guys next time.
Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Hooks Media, Ben Freeman, Ethan Carberry-Holt, Bruce Danton, The Broken Kitsumanoid, and Francine Salazar, our AMTV staff members.